I'm Angela Burman. I'm the designer and creator of Burman Bears. These are characters that are made from mohair and designer fabrics. I studied as a mature student back in 2006 at Birmingham City University, and I studied visual arts, and it very quickly proved that the actual lecturers themselves sort of could see that I enjoyed creating 3D characters. And it was their encouragement that really sat me down. And I was also interested in textiles. So to put the two together was just amazing for me. And for somebody to actually recognise that, and that there was a possibility that there could be something at the end of the degree rather than just a piece of paper, I definitely wanted to create my own business. I really love being, actually having my studio in Birmingham, because it's so, I can access so many things. I mean, from the start, people that I need to be in touch with quite quickly, my suppliers, just up the motorway. It's just great. If I need to be at the university for something, that's just down the road. It's very central. And the people that started me on the road are actually near to me as well if I need advice, which has been, really important in the past for me. My first experience with Birmingham Made Me was incredible. We were asked to present ourselves to a panel of people, and that gave us a platform, which we're all sort of graduates of Birmingham City, gave us a platform to sell our products to the public. It certainly raised my profile hugely, and it gave me the reason that I want to do retail from now on. Birmingham Made Me started that for me. One of the most amazing things that happened to me at the Birmingham Made Me retail store was when I met Willard Wigan, MBE, and he walked past the store and looked at the window and fell in love with one of my characters. He wanted to collaborate with me, and he created one of my characters that was smaller than a red blood cell, and you have to view it through a microscope. And even more fascinating is that he took one of my eyelashes and he sat the bear on the eyelash, and it just blows your mind when you see it. It's unbelievable, but it happened, and that was all because of Birmingham Made Me. Bears need people and people need bears. That's my strapline. I absolutely 100% believe that, because I've seen people interact, and it can be male, female, child, adult. It doesn't matter. It's when you look into the eyes of that Burman bear and you fall in love, and that's it. When you connect with that one bear, you actually don't see the others at all. It's a little bit like Match.com, really. It's actually quite comical, that part of it, but it's also very serious, because very often behind the person falling in love with the character, it's a serious point for them, because they might be missing somebody, they might have lost somebody that it's reminded them of, but there's always that huge emotional tug there. And I think that's why I'm proving successful with each little character. The inspiration behind this little character here was actually Birmingham itself, and I used the A to Z of Birmingham to create them. I wanted to push the boundaries a little, and not use fabric as such, but use the paper itself that the actual A to Z was made of. And it was on display last year, and it was quite fascinating, really, and it created quite a stir in the exhibit, because people were trying to see if they could see their address or their road actually on the character. So that was the inspiration behind that. This little bear is called Jankus. When I created him, he was actually going to be for sale, but he's not. You see one occasionally that you just totally fall in love with, and I've done that with him. To actually create Jankus, I think from memory it probably took me over a week to actually make him, because his head alone is in 10, not counting his ears, 10 separate pieces, because to just fit the quiff in there it's not an easy thing to do, and that's a separate piece of fabric with long mohair rather than the short mohair. And then the eyes are actually Austrian glass, so very often if they're not the colour I want, I'll paint them and change them. And I make the eyelids completely separate, and they get sort of glued into place. And then you've got to shape the face and the mouth. So it takes you, to actually do the head takes the longest. Because once that's perfect, how you want it, then you can safely do the rest. Because that's what people fall in love with first. I mean, very often when you look at a bear and you look at his tummy, people will go, oh, look at his tummy. Well, that's lovely, because we love that. But it's the face mainly. When you look into the eyes, or the way he looks at you, and you've probably seen a person that looks like this. I mean, I'll tell you, for instance, in the Birmingham Made Me store, I made a really big bear, and he got a beard and big wacky ears, and he was sitting on the side, and this lady come in and she said, "Oh my goodness, that reminds me of my husband." Which made us all really laugh. And she actually bought him because the bear reminded her of her husband. And then another lady will buy one because the stomach reminded her of her husband. So we do have a lot of fun. The subject is incredibly infectious. It's lovely. It's a lovely, lovely world I live in.